especially when you live in a world equally filled with opportunities and distraction. One step to the wrong direction can totally change your life. Oh God, I'm trying really hard to untangle myself from that already piled up work. And new work or responsibilities just keeps rolling in like the waves of the ocean. God, have mercy on me. This might be a thought right now raining all over your mind when that board exam of yours is just round the corner, isn't it? Hey champs, I've got your back. Worry less, guys. Greetings to one and all. Welcome to Mind Bogglers. This is your Vish, and in this video, I'll help you achieve 3 things that's essential for your board exam. Number 1, how to instantly increase your score. Number 2, how to have that perfect study routine. Number 3, how to find so much relaxation time in spite of studying really hard or studying for long hours. So, without any further ado, let's dive into that video. So, let's start off with listing the portions that's there in our board exam. Number 1, we need a blank sheet. Like an A4 size sheet would do good, and then procure all the writing material that you need, writing instruments that you need or tools that you need, like highlighters, pens, pencils, etc. And now that the process from scratch is going to take you a long time, like to show you guys it's going to take a long time, I've already prepared a sample for you guys. Here, this is the sample. So I've started off with writing the main heading, which is probably the chapters, books to refer, and order of studying. Then this is just a sample, guys. Then the page numbers that I've written or the page count that I've written and the weightage are most likely to vary from your actual paper, actual subject weightage. So make sure you refer to the original CBSE website or ask your teachers for the weightage. And now coming to the main thing, write down your chapter name is really important. Again, accurately count the number of pages that's there in one chapter, and side by side you have to write the weightage, how much questions that's going to be asked from this particular chapter in your actual board exam. So now that we've done with the entire 3 process, let's go to the 4th process. Why have we written order of study? Why is there a need of order of studying? You might think, right? Exactly. That's what I thought when I was in my when I was near the board exam days. See, you might have seen 25%, 20%, 15%. These percentages are not given just like that. It's the number of questions that's going to be asked from this particular chapter in your actual board exam. So concentrating on these important chapters would fetch you more mark, but that doesn't mean you could leave on these small teeny tiny chapters. Why? Because most of the short answer questions, or maybe you can predict a medium length question like a 3-mark questions from these short chapters. So number 1, we can club the 1 and 2 and 3 because they have the highest probability of giving you more marks. Now, if you've seen, why have I written these question marks here? Why? If you've observed, there are 4 different chapters having the same weightage. This might be a problem. I was so confused when I was referring to this particular arrangement in my actual board exam days. And this is what my mom said. She said, you have to arrange these particular chapters according to your own difficulty level. If you feel chapter 6 with a 10% is a chapter that you haven't read properly, give it a premium importance. So 3, then you have to give it a 4. And then if you think 5 and 4, I'm not very sure. If you think I'm not very sure, or you're not very sure about the concepts, read it again and again. Give it another premium importance after 6. If chapter 1 is something that you've learned very well, give it the last importance. You can you can give it a quick read here and there when you're really bored. Now coming to the last one. Why did I choose to list down all the guide names and stuff? It makes you remember that you've got these many guides and sample papers to refer simultaneously when you read the chapter. And important things to note while you list down these guide names and sample papers is that if it takes more time for you to cover one particular chapter, by referring to all these 3 guides, sample papers, past papers, websites and YouTube videos, you should probably quit repetitive questions, and also you should probably stick on to one particular reliable source. Like probably it would be one guide plus sample papers would do good for you and save your time as much as possible. So this particular plan can also be implemented for the next 5 subjects or 4 subjects that you have. So that's all for the first tip. Let's move on to the second one. So now that we've got our entire portions deeply analyzed and segregated according to its importance, so how do we divide it into further parts so that we can study at ease? We all know that we cannot complete the entire portion of 4 different subjects in one day. And why is that possible? It's extremely exhaustive, highly unproductive, and it might lead to burnout, which is not something that we can afford right now. So the next study tip. How do we divide the total portion into smaller parts? While giving you guys this particular study tip, I have to divide the entire board exam population, like board exam or board writing population, into 2. People who love to divide the entire portion into pages, and people who love to divide in terms of chapters. So, number 1 scenario. Here that you love to study pages or love to divide an entire subject into number of pages. Let's take an example. Let's take subject 1, and it has got the total number of pages is 200 and the number of days left is 15. So let's divide. When we divide, we've got 200 by 15, which leads to around 13.3 per pages per day, or 13 per page. Like rounding off, we can say it's 13 pages a day. But here's something that we have to note. Here, 13 pages is for one subject, and you've got another 4 to 5 subjects waiting for your attention. So plan very, very, very cautiously that you don't think that you've got only 13 pages to complete a day. We've got a lot to do, dude. Buckle up again. So, the next thing. People who love to divide into chapters. Some people feel at ease or feel secured when they actually complete a chapter per day. So, for them, again, let's take an example of subject 1, and it has got 15 chapters. And the total number of days is again 15. So again, let's go to the same process. Divide 15 chapters by 15 days. We've got 1 chapter a day. The same story again. Note, you've got 4 to 5 other subjects to revise. And be alert. It's not time for Jingalala. We have to work. We've got a future in our hands, and we've not got a day to ruin. So that's it, guys, for the second study tip. Let's go to the third. We've done so much talking. We've talked a lot about how to divide, how to analyze your portions according to its importance, how to segregate them. Is it all that we have to do to ace the exam? Let's take a checklist. So, checklist. List down the portions. Done. A big done. Divide it into smaller parts. Oh yes, completed. Only 2 steps, no more. And I'm going to ace the exam. No. I should make sure that I follow. How do I make sure of that? What's the next step? This might be expression right now. I'm so confused. I've jotted down all the portions and I've divided into smaller parts according to my convenience. And now, oh god, I'm lost again. Hold on, guys. I've got you. Let's get to the next step. Next study tip. So let's move on to the third study tip, how to make a daily timetable. Daily timetables are one of the biggest trackers of how much you've completed during the day, how productive you are, and how much remaining portions you have to complete in the next upcoming days. So let's take a notebook like this. Long or short, it's according to your convenience. Take a blank page of that book. And making the timetable from scratch is going to lengthen the video, which I don't want to do. So I've already prepared a sample and I've divided the page into 4 different sections. Number 1 is the time duration. Number 2 is going to be the subject. Number 3 is the portions covered. Number 4 is the productivity tracker. So this timetable is based on someone who wakes up at 4:45 a.m. If you're a night owl or you love studying during the night, you can change the plan accordingly. So if a person wakes up at 4:45 a.m., then he or she can start studying by 5. So 5 to 6, the first hour, is the subject number 1, the toughest subject. I know it's irritating, guys, but according to psychologists, your brain works in 100% effectiveness in the first hour of you waking up. So let's tackle that scary monster first. So after 1 hour of hard work, let's give us some reward. Let's have 1 hour of interaction with our favorite subject. So the next hour, 6 to 7, the second subject is going to be your favorite subject. After studying for 2 hours, like you must have noticed, what are these orange and neon signs? Are they just decorations to beautify the page? No. It's a tracker. So if you give yourself an orange line, a pink line, it means you had low productivity. Low productivity means you couldn't achieve that concentration or focus that you always desire. You were distracted and couldn't make a good progress. Orange line is going to be the medium productivity. Medium productivity means you could make a little progress. You were concentrated a little bit, but you got distracted. Then the neon sign, the high productivity. High productivity is when you achieved that concentration, focus, and that study flow that you always desired. You could make good progress and finished a big chunk of your portion. So these lines are not to discourage you or make you feel that you're not studying good in a good manner. It's to evaluate ourselves. So after 1 hour of study, you should evaluate how much progress you've made, right? So evaluate accordingly. Let's be strict to ourselves for this 15 days. So now, after studying for 2 hours, you might have noticed this pink thick line, right? This is not just a barrier or it's not a division. This is to check the overall morning session's progress, the progress tracker. So first of all, we start off with evaluating the effectiveness of the overall session, 2 hours. So after evaluating, you will either write high effectiveness or moderate effectiveness or low effectiveness. There are 3 options. Choose one accordingly. So next one, we're not robots or we're not superhumans who can complete all that we decide. Sometimes we couldn't complete it. Now write down that incomplete portion that you couldn't complete as planned in the incomplete section and make sure you give it a red line or red mark. Then the next session, after 2 hours of study, you can take 1 hour of break time. You can relax, exercise. Exercise would be a good option like yoga, aerobics, going for a brisk walk and stuff. It can increase the inhalation of oxygen. and increase the dopamine hormone in your body, making you happy, relaxed, and calm for the next study hour. So after 1 hour of studying, let's move on to the next study session. It's another 1 hour study. So the third subject involves memorization of facts. It can be SST or English or a language subject dealing with a story, a poem, or a non-detailed chapter. So after this 1 hour, it's your breakfast time. So 9 to 10 is breakfast. It should be a healthy, balanced diet and have lots of water because water pushes away or vanishes that lethargy and sleepiness that you've got. This particular line should be a motto for the next 15 days. You will not eat the stomach full. This is not to starve yourself or anything. Eat only what's enough and fill yourself with fluids like juice or water, or a tea would do good. A lemon tea is of high effectiveness. It gives you huge, high metabolism. Eating to stomach full can lower your productivity and make you feel so sleepy. This is practically tested, guys. I've tested it myself. When you eat to stomach full, you feel like, God, the bed is the best place to be in. We've not got time to waste. So let's eat a little bit less for the next 15 days and drink lots of fluids like water, juice, tea, or lemon tea, etc. Then after breakfast, 10 to 11, most probably, even if you eat a light breakfast, you might feel a little of low productivity. You've already learned for 3 hours right now and you feel like, oh God, I have to study again. So let's take this subject like English, or a reading intensive subject, which doesn't involve you solving a problem or solving a tough sum or a formula. Reading English, like you can read a chapter that you always like, a lesson, or a reading intensive subject would involve you learning about a particular phenomenon, event, anything. So the next 10 to 11 should be a subject that is reading intensive. Then 11 to 12, subject number 5, formula or problem based solving. So after 1 hour of you reading a story or a lesson or a poem, you can go on to the other monster, which is science, maths, accountancy, or an economics. These are all extremely formula and problem solving intensive subjects, which requires high amount of concentration. So let's tackle them in the hour 11 to 12. And guys, don't forget to mark that productivity tracker, okay? See, you've got a productivity tracker to track your productivity. And now 12 to 1, subject number, you've already completed one cycle of studying the 5 subjects that you've got. So 12 to 1 is the time you start the second cycle. Again, the tough subject. So you've already you've got to take the next portion that you need. And I forgot to mention one thing. So in the before study tips or the previous study tip, I've told you guys to divide the portion. Right now, if one subject has got 15 pages per day, make sure you divide by 3. Your particular subject will contain 15 pages, 20 pages, or 25 pages, 30 pages or so. Divided by 3 because 3. Why 3? Because it's going to be divided into morning, noon, and evening or night session. Okay. This is what I wanted to tell you guys. Hope you've understood. Once more, I'm explaining this. Make sure that you've already divided the number of pages into smaller chunks. Make it further small that you can tackle it better. Divide it by 3 so that you can divide the pages equally in your morning, afternoon, and evening session. So the next thing, 1 to 3 is your break period. You can have having lunch and taking a power nap would be the best effective method. If you love watching TV, I would suggest you to stay away from Netflix, Amazon Prime, or any anime or Korean drama right now. I know we all love that. Let's see some cartoon for about 30 minutes. Seeing cartoon, I know seeing cartoon is a little childish thing to do, but watching your favorite childhood cartoon can increase your dopamine level, make you feel relaxed, and have your next study session after the break. So 3 to 4 is again subject number 4, which is already the reading intensive or the fact based subject. So after you rest, you've got high productivity. Let's remember or memorize some facts of your fact intensive subject. And then subject number 5 will obviously fall in the category of R 4 to 5. So evening session 4 to 5 is the problem solving subject. Again, math or science, physics, chemistry, accountancy, economics can go under this problem solving subject study session. And again, once more, don't forget to mark your productivity, okay? Then you've studied 2 hours continuously. Let's give us some reward. Your favorite subject. Again, 5 to 6 is when you read or learn about your favorite subject. Again, this is a cakewalk for you guys, I know that. Now, the second progress tracker of our day. Afternoon session, again, effectiveness can be counted into 3 categories: high, medium, or low. And then incomplete work. Make sure you mark it with a red symbol, red line or a mark. So then, after 5 to 6, 6 to 7 is again your break time. Taking a walk in the park, tea time, or talk with your parents, friends, etc., siblings. So let's relax for 1 hour. Then let's tackle the next subject that we've got. 7 to 8, 1 hour of study, you've got to memorize the fact like SST or what else? We've got SST, we've got history. If you're a 12th class student, geography, if it's tough for you, we can make sure that we learn in this particular hour, 7 to 8. So then 9 to 10, I'm sorry, I forgot. 8 to 9 is your dinner time. Again, let's have a very light dinner so that we can wake up with a fresh mind and energized body during in our waking time. Let me tell that once again. So 8 to 9 is your dinner time. I have not mentioned it here. Make sure you eat a very light meal so that we can wake up with energy and a fresh mind without any sort of sleepiness. That's it. So 9 to 10, the last 1 hour of our study, last 1 hour of our day. So let's complete and some miscellaneous process. Let's complete the incomplete work or the miscellaneous subject. Miscellaneous. How can I explain it to you? Yeah. So you can take bits of all subjects, or you can summarize what you've learned the entire day in a short passage, each subject. So that would do good, because keep memorizing every day. Repeated revision can make you understand the subject better. Now, about the incomplete record, make sure you don't forget this so that you can add all the incomplete that's there from each subject. You have got total number of pages or chapters that you were incomplete over here, and divided, and all this bifurcations that's there. For subject 1, how many pages that's incomplete. For subject number 5, see like this. You guys can see, right? Make sure you don't forget filling this page in the end of the day. Before going to bed, make sure you do all this so that you can add to the next day's timetable. So this is all for the daily timetable process. I hope you could get good inputs from these.